When I was a little girl, my mama told me I could be anything I wanted to be, do anything I wanted to do. But there was always a legal clause beneath those statements, as long as the white people allowed me. I could grow up to be a doctor if white people allowed me to. I should look people in the eye unless it was a white person staring back. It was safe to walk to school until a white person strolled by, and in the same offhand way a butcher kills swine points a gun at my head. Looking down the barrel of a gun, you will never forget you have to look a gun in the eyes, pulled into the spiral of the barrel that leads to a package delivering death faster than the mailman on Monday mornings. Hate like sparks striking up the flintstone prejudice that can snuff out the flame of my life. I could be anything I wanted to be. I only wanted shoes for my feet, ones that were not made out of dried mud and hardened skin because my heart was already hardening. I was learning to color inside the lines others set out for me. But those lines were not black like in coloring books, but white, white as snow. Every time it snows in Chicago, I find myself back in the South. I look outside my window and I see fields of cotton. My mind streaks down on a star called the Silver Comet falling down to the south. And I see not children playing in snow, but a multitude of backs hunched in labor, chained down by a legacy of violence and suffering. My chains are from those white fields. My parents' chains are from a field awash in red, red as deep as the sky set afire by the setting sun. Every day could have been their last, so their legacy keeps my mind, my hopes chained down within me, locked away in a brick box with no light, while opportunity races right outside my doorway. Because I'm scared now, if I dream too big, not only will I be let down, I will be pushed down further than I already am, and the red, threatening glow on the horizon is not from the sun. I used to think movie stars were called stars because they shone so brightly, but now I don't know after coming to California. Maybe it's because they've fallen from the one sky they've always known and so shine brightly in their new dwelling. I tried to be a star, a shooting star. My journey saw me bouncing off others' fields of gravity, burning up their prejudice and stares in my atmosphere, but when I arrived, my heart seemed to have burned up as well, ashes trailing behind me across the west. For years, I tried to fill that hole, but nothing ever fit just right. Like a puzzle, I was a jigsaw figure slowly crumbling a house of cards, scared of the wind, because every rude remark or injustice blew right through me, swirled inside me into a tempest that I could not contain. I was so mad, so bitter, sweetness on my tongue tasted bitter. In a paradise where every pleasure had been poisoned by a system that just didn't fit, that just didn't make sense. The saying goes, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Well, I don't know about you, but both seem to hurt. Because while aristocracy flaunts their laws at us mobs strung up on a tree of body labeled hypocrisy, and their words and demonic attitudes drag me down to a dark place where yes, I am hurt. Calling me boy, I am not a boy but a man. Calling me doc because my education hurts your misconceptions on who should aid in your child's conception. Bringing lies into the world that you will possess to hate exactly like you do with no explanation as to why, except that it is how it has always been done. Making violence their religion and Jim Crow their Bible, you will raise a generation on my hands to kill my friends while my children are raised by concrete behemoths that only take. Perhaps what hurts the most is that most get no words at all. The lucky ones who left the South got to go back someday, visit as if on vacation, but not to a place with palm trees and beaches, but run-down shacks and fields of white. On their chest is a name tag proclaiming, "Hi, my name is grandmother." Doctor, provider, survivor, rebel, dreamer, migrant, one in a story of millions made it out of the South, but I only know my story. I could be anything I wanted to be. I finally did get those shoes, got to color outside the lines just a bit. Great migration, I only know my migration. Perhaps something great was happening around me, but I only cared about my family. We went to a diner that day to get some lemonade. My granddaughter looked up at me and told me how sweet it was, and I finally smiled. After all these years, how sweet indeed.